Alright, now let's take some time to discuss the different types of virtual assistants that are out there, because understanding your options will help you to better determine which type of VA you might like to work with. We'll start by discussing task-based assistants, and then we'll talk about the virtual project manager model, as well as dedicated virtual assistants, and why they're such a great option if you're really trying to be as productive as possible and successful at delegating over the long term. And lastly, we'll talk about contractors and freelancers with specialized skills and how they're different from the typical virtual assistant. And remember, as we go through this video, all of these different types of VAs can be found either as self-employed, independent freelancers, or as individuals that work as part of a larger virtual assistant company. So let's dive in. First, let's start by talking about working with a task-based assistant. These types of assistants are great for simple, one-time assignments like research tasks and phone calls and data entry and so on. And since they're only around for one task, it typically means that you'll need to get a new assistant for each task or project you assign, which is especially true if you sign up with a virtual assistant company that offers this type of assistance. Because at those companies, when you submit a task or create a help ticket, it will essentially go into a pool where that task can then be picked up by anyone in the company. And typically, with this type of assistant, you don't have to worry about any recurring monthly payments or making any long-term commitments because they're only around for one task, which is great if you're on a low budget or if you're just getting started working with a virtual assistant and you're trying to test the waters. And while these types of assistants are great for getting your feet wet, since they only work on one task at a time, and since you'll most likely have to get a new assistant for each task, it can actually be a pain when it comes to assigning recurring tasks. And it's really just not a great approach if you want to be successful at delegating or if your goal is to be as productive as possible over the long term. But fortunately, there are more types of assistants out there. So now let's take a minute to discuss a virtual project manager. Just like you'd expect, a virtual project manager can help you with a wide range of services, including recurring tasks and ongoing projects. And they can do the work of delegating and assigning your tasks and projects to other virtual assistants or contractors, so you don't have to worry about finding the right people for the job. For instance, if you have a couple tasks that you need completed, and one task needs someone with experience in WordPress, and another task needs someone with experience in Microsoft Excel, then your project manager might find two different people with specialized experience in both of these platforms for each of these different tasks. And this is a great way to get a lot of work done under a small umbrella, and you could even build a small virtual team this way. And while it may be great to have a single point of contact to help you get a whole variety of different tasks completed, it may also mean that you only work with those individuals who have the specialized skills just the one time to complete that one task. And lastly, while a virtual project manager can definitely help you get organized and start checking items off your to-do list, and they work really well for some people, they're not always all that great for smaller, more intricate personal tasks like scheduling and managing your inbox. For those types of tasks, you'll need a virtual assistant that you can work closely with who can become an integral part of your team. And that's where we get to the dedicated virtual assistant. As the name implies, a dedicated VA is committed to working with you, not just to reassign tasks to other people, and not just as a temporary assistant who's only there to do a one-time project, which means you can develop rapport and build trust and establish a growing, working relationship with your dedicated VA. Then you'll begin to see the real benefits of what it means to have someone else on your team and someone who's committed to helping you organize your life and your business. For instance, a dedicated virtual assistant can learn your work style and your work schedule, as well as your preferences and project requirements, and so on. And with a dedicated VA, you can share things that you wouldn't necessarily be able to share with someone who's only around for one task or one project, such as your calendar so that your VA can help schedule phone calls and meetings. And with a dedicated VA, you can share things like your passwords to any of the websites that you log into and have your virtual assistant perform actions on your behalf. And much like you would trust a personal assistant to go out and make purchases for you, you can share your bank info or your credit card or debit card numbers with your virtual assistant so that they can help you make purchases. And you can share information like your birthday and your frequent contacts or places of interest and so much more. And your VA can store any information that you give them using a secure encrypted app or software, so you don't have to worry about anybody else getting a hold of it. Of course, we'll talk about sharing access to all of these things with your virtual assistant in more detail in another section. But for now, I just wanted to highlight how a dedicated VA can really become an integral part of your team. And they can grow with you and grow with your business. And when you have someone else on your team to help you stay focused and on track, you can be more productive with your time and with your life. And lastly, while this course is primarily focused on delegating to virtual assistants, it wouldn't be complete if I didn't at least touch base on specialized contractors. Because there are some things that not all virtual assistants are capable of completing. And in this case, you may need to hire someone else with more specialized skills to get the job done. And fortunately, there are several websites where you can go to find skilled contractors available online to help you with just about any project or job that you encounter. We'll discuss how you can find and hire your own freelancers or contractors and which websites are the best for that type of thing. But that will be a bit later in the course. For now, I just wanted to review some of the different types of contractors that are out there so you can begin to see just how many different types of tasks and projects you can delegate. For example, you could find a contractor who's specialized in email marketing, and they can help you set up your autoresponder system or optimize your email sales funnel. Or you could ask them to split test various email subject lines so that they can improve your click-through rates. Or if you want to optimize your website to be mobile friendly, for example, you could find a web designer or developer to get it up to speed without costing you an arm and a leg. And if you need help with any designs, logos, flyers, or graphics, well, the internet is teeming with graphic designers that you can hire virtually to help you get the job done. And you can also find contractors who are specialized in search engine optimization, and they can help you move your website higher up in the search rankings so that you can get more traffic and more customers as a result. Or maybe you'd like to have a commercial made for your company, or a series of YouTube videos to share on social media websites. Well, there are tons of great video production artists online that you can work with to make videos for your website or for your business. And you can also find writers and editors and professionals online in just about any field you can imagine. And you can delegate your tasks and projects to these specialized contractors so that they can help grow your business. And you don't have to struggle trying to learn how to do it all by yourself. Instead, you can focus on doing what you're best at and what you love, and hire other people who can focus on the specialized skills that you need help with. Now, moving forward, we'll mainly be focused on working with a dedicated virtual assistant. But the delegation skills that you'll learn in this course can be applied universally to any type of contractor or freelancer that you find online in a virtual hiring scenario.